Passing right to repair bills is probably about one of the best things that can be done for the environment. The reason is that uh, manufacturers currently are designing and producing goods that basically cannot be repaired or are designed to fail within a short time right after the warranty. A great example of this is John Deere. So I own this John Deere 490E excavator. It was built in 1996, but a major problem with it is that it's very difficult to repair without having the John Deere manuals and John Deere's service advisor software. John Deere charges $65,000 for this software, and I bought this excavator for $22,000. So it doesn't make a ton of sense for most commercial people and people who use these machines to buy a machine like this, because it just is so expensive and difficult to repair. The only real way that you can get a machine like this repaired without spending $65,000 on their software and then trying to muddle through it yourself is to hire their service technicians, who cost something like $250 an hour door to door. For a machine like this, you can't drive it into a shop. It's too big and heavy. I don't own that size trailer for it. So it's just stuck here on my property. So yeah, $250 door to door, and the nearest John Deere service center is probably about 2 hours away. So I'm a minimum of $1,000 just to get somebody here to look at it, even if something is just like replacing a line. So most people end up selling these machines after they come off their warranty period, and a lot of them just can't be worked like machines used to be. There's new machines out there, or old machines, excuse me, like the old 1950, 1940 Alice Chalmers or Cat D4s and machines like that still run strong today and still are very usable. Machines like this can be built to last 100 or 200 years of use, and heavy use at that, if you make it available for people to repair. Unfortunately, John Deere has become notorious for making it extremely difficult for owners to work on their own machines, which essentially means that a 27,000 pound machine like this goes to waste after it comes off its warranty period, maybe 10, 20 years, which is extremely unfortunate for anybody who actually cares about the environment. So for all of John Deere's corporate speak, mumbo jumbo BS about how they're doing things to try and help the environment by doing very modest, small improvements to miles per gallon or things like that, think about the enormous environmental cost that it takes to mine all the iron ore, to smelt it, to put it through all the furnaces, to make the high-grade steel to build a machine like this, of this size, and then all the transport, all the other costs that go into it. It's just absolutely enormous financial and environmental cost to build a machine like this. The best possible thing that could be done for the environment is to pass right to repair laws, so machines like this can continue to work far into the future and new machines don't have to be built. However, that's not in John Deere's financial interest, and as a former finance guy, all their MBAs and everybody else working there specifically plans and talks to their engineers and tries to make these machines difficult to repair for owners, and they try to make it so that they have a limited service life now. So machines that built with technology and things like that of 80 years ago, back when men were first landing on the moon, that technology is outlasting this new technology, and it's purposeful. They could make machines that last 5 times as long as those machines from the 1950s, but it's not as profitable as selling a new machine every 10 years. So that's what John Deere is doing, and a lot of other manufacturers. As a matter of fact, you may have an iPhone, and Apple's doing the exact same thing. They make it impossible to even replace your battery or do any repairs yourself. And usually you take it to an Apple Genius Bar, they're going to charge you $500 to do some silly, stupid repair with a specific intent that you're going to throw away that phone and buy a new one every year or two. That makes them the most profit. Apple is just absolutely notorious for that. I'm using a Google Pixel to record this, and actually my Google Pixel 2 lasted me about 5 or 6 years until Google stopped making security updates, and even at that point it was still very usable. I was able to replace the battery and things like that. So Google's a little less bad, but Google's getting worse too. So what we really need to see is some laws and rules, just like you have in the automotive industry, that cover every industry, whether it's construction, agriculture, or anything, and require right to repair. And even right to repair laws would not be as necessary if we simply had better patent laws. So there's a reason why in every major manufacturing category, you see the same brands that have been there for 60 years. Why is John Deere and Cat still dominating long after their founders are dead? Why is Boeing the only company making airplanes in the United States? Why are Ford, Chevy, GM, all these companies the only companies left doing it? You don't see that in other industries without as many patent restrictions, but really what happens with patents is these companies accumulate thousands of patents and make it very, very difficult for any entrepreneur to come out and build a new machine. Because you might have an idea that innovates in one little area, but if you try and use anything in their patent portfolio, which covers just about every single part on a modern machine, and they have armies of lawyers to help them claim things that even are just totally obvious or irrelevant, you really just can't build a machine. So my suggestion is try and vote with your dollars as much as you can. If you're a purchasing manufacturer or purchaser for a agricultural construction operation, don't buy John Deere. Buy even the cheap Chinese knockoff or whatever. These companies are really, really just destroying what's good about America, unfortunately. I think if we saw patent reform where patents were either just outright eliminated, which is what I advocate for, or severely reduced and curtailed, you'd see a giant leap in innovation. Henry Ford talked about that. He said that the gas engine was delayed by 20 years back in 1880 or 1890 by some gentleman who had patented part of a gas engine and nobody else could innovate on it. So we've seen this happen repeatedly throughout history. Patents are a limit on innovation, very damaging, and not having a right to repair is extremely bad for the environment, extremely bad for our country, and extremely bad for the world. So I hope everyone here looks into right to repair and helping push right to repair laws forward, as well as patent reform. I think that would be an enormous boon to our world. So thank you for hearing me on my little rant. And if you like my opinions and whatnot, please like and subscribe and all those YouTube-y sorts of things. So thank you.